Hey everybody, Brandon here. Blue. These are the imps that I want to be working on today, and these guys have been hanging up in the closet for a long time, and I finally want to show these guys off soon because I'm hoping that we're going to be able to do some shows soon that will have some bigger production numbers. And these guys were always meant to be sort of backup dancers just for the Pupps, you know, for anyone, like Oko, I suppose, most of the time, but there could be other instances where we could have them sort of dancing in the background. But they're just basically these great big, these two great big costumes. Here's the understructure, and there's two of them. I made two of these. Yeah, so here's one with the understructure, and then here's one of the bodies here, and here's the other head. And yeah, I've gotten them about 95% complete. They've, like I said, been hanging in the closet for like the last 5 years or something like that. Been waiting for an opportunity, but I think that we're finally going to have one soon. So it should be a lot of fun. And now I think what I'm going to do now is I did document the process of making these a little bit because it was quite a while ago. So I didn't do a lot of commentating while I was creating these. But I did take some video, and I will show that now. And we'll get caught up to this point where most of the pieces are made. But now I'm ready to get this on and start doing a few alterations. And then all we have to do is sort of a model fitting. And then these two characters, who I've named the Imps, will be ready. Yeah, so take a little look at this video footage of the Imps kind of being created and put together, and then I'll put the whole thing on and we'll talk a little bit about the alterations that are going to need to be done to this in order to make it just right. Hey everybody, Brandon here from the Vancouver Pupps, here for another project. It's been a little while, but I thought that I would spend some more of my downtime lately to work on a few more characters. I am hoping that once a lot of the COVID restrictions have lightened up a little bit, that we'll be able to do some more live performances in the near future. But I do want to perform as our number one here, Oko. But in order to do that, I'm going to need a little help, like some support when I'm on stage. So I thought I'd create some characters that could sort of help out Oko when we're doing a live performance and add a little bit to the comedy as well. So I had a lot of this brown wool left over. It's sort of a chocolate brown, and so I had several meters to work with. So what we did was I drafted up the pattern. First we made an understructure like this one. These are some gorilla rubber masks that I got on eBay. They both come with fur on them, but what I did was I don't want this fur, I want to add my own texture. So I ripped it all off this guy. And this is what you get. This one is done. It was just glued on, so I just yanked everything off. So what we're going to be doing is painting these guys. This is going to be the heads. And I also draped a cowl that is going to be going over it. So this will just fit over top. His face here will be showing through here. But first I want to paint this. And then also from eBay, I got a pair of gorilla gloves. These ones still have the hair on them. But on the other set, I took it off, and it just easily came undone after I undid the stitches. And the same thing with the feet. Lots of cool things you can get cheap on eBay. Here's a pair of gorilla feet. I got two of them. They do have the black fabric stitched on. So on the other pair, I just undid the stitch, and that's what we're going to be using. So the feet, hands, the head, and also some horns. I got two pairs of horns, are all going to be painted. I decided to go green, which I like a dark green, which I thought would go nice with the chocolate brown wool. By the way, I'm going to do one with the horns downwards and one with the horns going upwards, just to sort of diversify between them. Yeah, so the pants, the legs are just basically a pair of jogging pants that I sort of split the center seam and then just put in the tracking layered on at 1 inch intervals. All right, I'll probably use suspenders for these. I think it's probably going to be the best idea. So I'm going to put on the one that uses the steel boning. So there's what it looks like so far. Here's the gloves. I am going to put the mask on. Darn it. Set the hands huh? Get in there. Anyway, whatever. You know what I mean.
Okay.
I just wanted to see how this felt. So then
here's the mask.
Yeah.
Let's see the mask. Oh, it's a monkey.
It's a gorilla. It was a gorilla. Yeah.
Okay.
So when I put this on, I found it to be a little loose. It's going to be important that the eyes stay pretty close to the front. So what I think I'm going to do is, let me know what you think of this. I'm going to add an elastic, I think, back here that just kind of like holds it like this.
Yeah,
a little.
yes.
Right?
The hair is also in the way.
Would that be? Well, I'll trim it. I can trim it. That looks good. Yeah, it looks really good. Here, let's move back a little bit more. Let me put this light on. Yeah. Wait. There's one more thing. The horns. He's very confused. Yeah, I'm going to have to trim the hair a little bit on. It looks good. It looks really good. Whoa. I might have to find a way to attach these a little bit better, but yeah, here we go.
I need to put them in there. Did his bark?
Yep. He's a little creeped out, I think. It looks really good. So I think what I'm going to do is, add an elastic in the back of the mask that holds it a little closer to the face. But do you think it's a good idea?
Yeah.
Okay. Who is that, Loki? He's not having it. Well, I'm really happy. It looks really good. And you can move okay in it and stuff. Here, I'm going to get a little further distance back. Yeah, dance around a bit. Just do random things.
Boy, you're in trouble.
All right, so here we go. So after sort of putting everything together and sort of taking a look at how this all looks, here's the understructure. This is what's underneath here. I think it looks pretty good. The legs are really good. I'm very happy about the legs, and I don't need to make any changes to those other than just the length alterations for whoever's going to be wearing them, and they just need to be attached to the feet. But they should be, those look good. But one thing I did notice is that depending on how the actor wearing this sort of like tips or whatever, it's very easy to see underneath and to see the understructure underneath. It's too easy, in fact. So, and I'm a little worried when you see a side profile, I'm a little worried that the back is a little bit too big, that there's too much sort of going on in the back, making these imps look like they have a big ass, which I don't really want. So what I'm going to be doing is, well, okay, the first plan I had, I'll show you this. This is what I first came up with. I decided, I basically drafted the pattern piece for the bottom, and I decided I'd make these panels that I would put texture on, and then these would be attached to the bottom, and the performer would just put their legs through these, and that would certainly work. But it also makes the outfit a little more cumbersome because there is a zipper in the back, and the only way to get into it, because I like the idea of the actor just being able to just put this on through the bottom, just to be able to like put the whole thing on, you know, just like, it's just easier that way. But if this was on the bottom, then what you'd have to do is the performer would have to get into the understructure, and then you'd have to unzip the piece and crawl into it basically and wrap it up around yourself and the understructure. And I don't really like that idea. So I thought I would alter this a little bit. So this is what we're going to be doing. I've decided I'm going to put in some elastic. I'm going to put an elastic strap that kind of runs through this body, closer to the back of the understructure, that when the performer is putting this on, they'll make sure that the strap goes over them, so that the understructure will be held more forward, is what I want to do. I want this, yeah, I want the understructure to be held forward a little bit more, so that, yeah, that'll get rid of the backside quite a bit. It'll flatten the back and give more of a belly, which is what the shape I'm going for. And then what I'm going to do is, I am going to draft a part for the bottom, but what it's going to be is going to be more of like sort of a semicircle. I think we'll have to see how much I can get away with. But I'm going to make a panel just for the front, like half of this basically. I basically have the pattern piece here, so it'll sort of be like half of this. Looks like this. And that'll sort of go in the front. But there'll still be like a section of the back. This is the back. There'll still be a portion where the performer will be able to get up into, put themselves through the elastic that's in the understructure, which should be inside. I like the idea of the understructure being inside the costume before they get into it. It's just easier that way. So that's the plan. That's the main alterations I'm going to be doing. So I basically just have to put the elastics into the understructures, and then draft a pattern piece for the front, add texture, and attach it. And then I think that's pretty much it. And then the other thing I'm thinking about is, this is something I'm going to have to decide once I get the performers in and we start working on these a little bit. But I'm debating on whether or not I want to attach the horns to the mask. Basically what I would need to do is just put them on, get them put on I made them all separate because I thought it would be easier, but I'm worried about the horns. If this person's dancing around, I'm worried about these possibly falling off. So what I'm going to do is, we'll just have to do some testing. But what I am considering is having these put on and then tacking them down. And I can easily just like whip a stitch over the sides of like the headband that goes over. And so it wouldn't be too hard to attach them. So it's an option. But like I said, just want to get the main body done, and then we'll just see if we can maybe, get a little practice wearing these, and then we'll have 2 more amazing characters that we'll have available for a Vancouver Pupps show. So let's just finish these alterations. Alright, so here's that pattern piece that I was talking about for the bottom panel. So originally I thought I would just have these holes that the legs can go through, but I think that design would work, but like I said, it just makes the costume more difficult because I like the idea of the performer being able to just get in through the bottom of the body here. So you wouldn't be able to do that with a pattern piece like this on the bottom. You'd have to climb into it. So anyway, here's the old piece that I want to redraft, and I just got a piece of paper big enough for the portion we want, because it looks like I was originally also thinking of having these legs further back to kind of push the whole body forward, because I actually It's been 5 years since I've looked at this pattern piece, so I actually forgot about that. But yeah, I actually did put the legs a little further back to the back part. That would force the costume forward. But we're going to do it even more, because basically I want this entire front half. I've already, like, drafted the half. So I can actually just take this off now, I think. I think we're basically done with that. And this was like a brown lining, but I don't have any more of that fabric, but I have more of the brown wool. So I'm just going to make this panel out of wool. Yeah, so let me just cut this out. Anyway, it doesn't matter. All right, I mainly just did this because I wanted to know where the center front was. Okay, well, I wish I had red for this. But I don't. So this is CF. So this is CF here, center front. All right, so basically this is the front half of the costume, which I want covered. So what I'm going to kind of do is I'm going to kind of like arch. I think I'm kind of, and I'm going to do half of this to me and then cut it. So I think it's going to be kind of like, I think I'm going to do in a shape kind of like this. I guess I'll just come out and go like this. And I put on here Imps, front panel, front, bottom, panel. See how that looks. All right, so there it is. So that's what I'm going to go with. And now I'm going to cut 2 of these out. All right, so I just cut those 2 out, and I made balance points at the fronts and the sides, so I'd know where to attach it to the body. Yeah, okay, so this is the leftover texture tracks of the texture, but it should be enough. It's not very much, but it should be enough. And I do have other wool that I could cut more if I need to. But basically how this works was I laid the wool out and I cut these on the bias, these wide strips of like 5 inches, I think. I think this was about 5 inches. And then, so I had these long bias strips, and then I just cut the fringe. It took a very time consuming. And then I washed it and dried it. And this is sort of how it all turned out. And then basically I just attached these tracks along all the body and the arms and the legs on those jogging pants in tracks of 1 inch apart. And yeah, if you're going to be doing this with wool, though, also, if you're washing and drying it, the first time I dried it, I couldn't believe how much lint came out. And I actually think it was probably kind of dangerous. I don't know. It was very weird having that much lint come out. So whenever I wash and then dry a lot of wool, I always recommend stopping the dryer a couple times throughout to clean out the lint trap, because there's bound to be a lot of loose fibers coming out of all this wool. The texture itself ended up coming out really nicely. And this is also the same way that I made all of the texture that I sewed on the other puppets, Knick Knack and Lobo. So they also have similar texture done this way. So anyway, let's get to work on attaching these tracks to the underbelly parts. All right, so I've decided that since this is the under panel, I'm only going to do every other track. I don't need to do every inch because you're not going to see much. This is just to hide the under part, so we don't need to go too crazy on it. every other track with the texture on it is going to be more than enough. I'm sure of it. So it's kind of nice that I get an opportunity to show this now, because I don't think I recorded how I did this, because this is basically the entire body is covered with the texture. So here we go again, and I like to just use a zigzag stitch. Yeah, and this texture that I make, these tracks that I call them, they've all been pre-washed, so they definitely fluff up a lot. And yeah, I washed and dried them. After I cut them, they're like long strips cut on the bias. All right, so this is the dark. It's not the best thread. That's okay. All right, so I'm just going to keep on working away at this, covering all this with this texture. All right, so there's the first panel all done. So that's good. That's every other panel, so that's more than enough, because it's just going to be hanging upside down under the front there, right under the belly. This is sort of like the underbelly. So there we go. So all I'm going to do now is just attach that, and we'll just do another fitting and see how it all looks. All right, so here we have the panel pinned. So I'm just going to be sewing that on, and then I'm going to turn it inside out, put the understructure inside, and we'll see how it looks. Okay, so there we go. What do you think? I'm trying to see on the little screen. It's a little hard to tell. I think this is pretty good, though. I think this is probably going to look a lot better. I should have put the pants on, but I don't feel like doing that right now. But yeah, no, I think that's a good alteration. I think that's really going to give the bodies a lot better shape. Yeah, good. More of a belly, less of a backside, and yeah, darn it. I wish I was actually wearing the shorts now, because I need to know if I can see anything under, but yeah, no, I don't think that the underside will be easily revealed this way. And it was very easy for me to get into this. So yeah, that was good. Yeah, everything looks good on the inside too, from what I can see. So the elastic is keeping this pushed forward. It looks good. Okay, well, that's pretty much it. I think these two characters are just about done. Just got to find some willing dancers to try these on, so that we can do some fittings and make sure that we attach all the parts, such as the feet and the hands. And the mask itself, too. I have to decide if I think it's going to have to be pinned along the cowl as well of the mask, to sort of keep that attached. All right, here we go. Change the orientation here so we can see a bit more. I put the pants on because we drew it to be able to see. I don't think, yeah, see, I'm kind of bending over here. Before it was really easy to see underneath, and now it's not so easy. The belly looks good. Everything looks covered. It looks a lot better. So there we go. So that was a really good alteration. I think that was a good idea. It's really easy to move around in, too. It's actually kind of pretty comfortable, to be honest, other than being a little warm. But yeah, it feels good. Yeah, like in particular, we need to attach the gloves and the feet to the pieces so that they don't, break the illusion. They need to be attached, and also the mask as well might need some safety pins to keep it in place along the cowl. So I'll have to think about that as well. Yeah, I think this is really good. I think the Vancouver Pupps are going to have some great backup dancers now. I can't wait to show these off. All right, I have one of the outfits all laid out. There's the legs, there's the body, there's the head, the hands, and the feet. It's all here. So my brother's going to be coming over to help me do a fitting. And I got these little brown safety pins. I thought that these would be really nice for a fitting, because I would like to be able to fit this costume and, not have it be permanent, because there might be different kinds of people wearing this costume over the years. We'll see. But yeah, these are great. So what I'm going to do is we're going to be using these for the fitting, these safety pins. I'm going to be like, yeah, using these so that nothing's permanent. But these should be disguised nicely in the chocolate brown fur. Yeah, you'll never see them. They'll just kind of be and they'll all be covered up by the texture as well. No, quiet. Okay, dance around. All right, so there we are. Here's the costume. All look really good. You can see I have everything kind of like in the right spots. There we are. This is my brother Paul, who's modeling right now. He's doing a great job, and he will most likely be one of the people. Hold on, stop. Yeah. Let's see if you can do it on your own. Yeah, good. Keep dancing. And he will most likely be one of the people wearing this sometime at a future event. Shh, Loki, quiet. All right, there you go, guys.
Loki, stop. No. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, there you go, guys. There's one of the 2 imps that I'm hoping to feature very soon at some sort of live performance. But now we got a couple of amazing backup dancers now. All we got to do is find another actor to fill out the other costume, and we'll be ready to go. All right, so thank you very much for watching today's workshop. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all on the next video. I'm Brandon from the Vancouver Pupps. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now. Give me 5. Yeah. And Loki wanted to say goodbye too.